What is up, guys? D Chantilly here, and Zoom just continues zooming. And I'm sorry for the absolutely horrible pun. Sometimes things just write themselves. But heading into the close today, the stock was up over 202% on the year, and it's really hard to make a decision on the stock because I figured everything was already priced in. But after seeing this report and just how they absolutely blew away on a lot of the metrics, and the outlook looks promising, that the stock may have more upside, but I do think there's going to be a initial pullback because, again, the stock is up over 200% year to date. So people are going to be taking profit and things like that. So I think we're going to see an initial pullback. But the company, as far as the numbers go, this thing is pretty promising. And let's jump into this quarter's results. Revenue came in at $328.2 million for the quarter, up 169% year over year. GAAP income from operations was $23.4 million versus $1.6 million from this time last year, which represents over a 1,362% increase. GAAP earnings per share came in at 9 cents a share, or $27 million. And non-GAAP earnings per share came in at 20 cents a share, or $58.3 million. And that's when you take out things like stock-based compensation and payroll taxes, expenses from charitable donations of common stock, and undistributed earnings attributable to participating securities. And then we look at one of my favorite things that comes from the cash flow statement, and that's net cash provided by operating activities. And that came in at $259 million versus $22.2 million from the first quarter last year, representing a 1,066% increase. And so, as you can see, the company has obviously benefited greatly this quarter from the unfortunate virus going around. But as more people begin to work from home, companies need ways to communicate, and they're choosing Zoom as the platform. And we're going to discuss more of the business metrics in just a second. And first, let's take a look at the second quarter outlook, which revenue is expected to be between $495 and $500 million. Non-GAAP income from operations is expected to be between $130 and $135 million. And non-GAAP EPS, or earnings per share, is expected to be between 44 and 46 cents a share. And now for the full year outlook, revenue is expected to be between $1.775 billion and $1.8 billion. Non-GAAP income from operations is expected to be between $355 million and $380 million. And non-GAAP earnings per share is expected to be between $1.21 a share and $1.29 a share. The company also has cash and cash equivalents of about $488,653,000. And then when you add in marketable securities, that number comes in at about $1.1 billion. And marketable securities are assets that can be quickly liquidated into cash. So you have like treasury bills, commercial papers, certificate of deposits, things like that are considered marketable securities. So when you see that word, just think easily convertible to cash. But moving on to the core business, and this was absolutely phenomenal. And there's really no other way to say it. Approximately 265,400 customers with 10 or more employees. That's up approximately 354% from the same time last fiscal quarter. 769 customers contributing more than $100,000 in trailing 12-month revenue. That's up approximately 90%. Zoom also had a 12-month net dollar expansion rate and customers with 10 or more employees above 130% for the 8th consecutive quarter. So the business was obviously doing well prior to the outbreak, but it really sped up things. And I don't want to add confusion by deep diving into net dollar expansion rate. So I'll read something off of this article that I found, and they did a good job. If the formula yields a number greater than 100%, then growth from your existing customer base more than offset any losses from that customer base. And then when you think below 100%, just think the opposite. And then as far as Zoom calculates net dollar expansion rate as of a period end by starting with the annual recurring revenue from all customers with 10 or more employees as of 12 months prior. And so business-wise, Zoom is in very good shape. They don't have a whole lot of debt on the balance sheet. The company is growing at a just insane rate. They're doing a really good job. It doesn't look like Microsoft Teams is encroaching on too much of their territory. They're maintaining their big customers, and they're really growing their big customers, and they're also growing their their retail side. So when I look around, I see a lot of my family members using Zoom to communicate with one another, as we're, for the most part, stuck in the house. Not like we used to be, but for the most part, we're staying in the house, playing it safe. And so they use Zoom to communicate with each other, share things. And so Zoom has a very bright future ahead of it, and it had one before the outbreak, but it really sped things up. And now that employers are giving people permanent stay-at-home options, they're gonna need a platform for it. And it looks like Zoom is working. Zoom seems to be well liked, even though they had the privacy issue, but they appear to be working on it. And it hasn't really shaken consumers. I mean, when you look at this report, it hasn't really shaken up a whole lot of things. They're still growing at a rapid pace. They're growing profitably. And so it really has all the makings of a really good foundational company going forward. And so there you guys have it. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you don't know, I'm over on Twitch now where I'll be playing games, but I'll also be talking about stocks there. I kind of want to do this live thing where we'll look over these reports live with one another and we'll share each other's opinion. So be sure to go follow me on that. Links will be on the description. It's probably already been on the screen by now. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you next time.